My name is Monica Duarte, and if you're like me, you believe in synchronicities. So there's no coincidence that you found my work or my website. When you think of branding, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind? Does it feel overwhelming to even think of having a brand for your business? Or maybe, I don't really think I need a brand right now for my business. Or do you fear being seen? And you think of branding and it just makes you feel kind of anxious to feel like you have to put yourself out there in the world. Like, how scary is that? Or maybe you've worked with a brand strategist before and it's just been really difficult for them to really capture your essence of who you are in your brand in a way that feels authentic to yourself. And so that's really important for you with your brand. And so you kind of go back and forth between the idea of even having a brand, because how do you capture your essence in a brand so that people resonate with who you are, but it also connects with your ideal audience? Is it also important for you to make a positive impact in the world? Maybe the business that you have is what I call a transformative business, which helps to transform people's lives on different platforms. And maybe you do think of branding as a tool that can level up your business in a way that you never thought was possible, but you just don't really know how to select the right brand strategist or designer, or really what you need to even do that. What if I told you that creating a brand for your business doesn't have to feel overwhelming, it doesn't have to feel scary, it doesn't have to feel confusing, and it doesn't have to feel or be fake? And what if I told you that having a brand for your business is actually the most important asset you can have for your business? Let me explain how. Having a brand for your business is basically the same as a person who has a personality or an identity. So when you meet somebody, in order to connect or resonate with them, they have to have an identity, right? Without an identity, you can't really connect with them or really know what they're about. It's the same thing with a brand. When your business does not have a brand, there's no solid way or solid connection that your audience can connect to you, and you're kind of out just in space, floating out in space. And so you're missing out on business opportunities because you don't have a brand, and especially a solid brand for your business. As a brand identity alchemist and spiritual coach, I actually have 12 years of experience working in the creative field. I also do have a degree in advertising, and I learned all the different medias in the advertising world, including graphic design, web design, photography, almost anything you can think about. In addition, I've also been working with clients after I graduated from college. I've been working with clients for several years. And the thing that makes me really different, though, from everybody else in the brand strategy, brand design world, is that I actually work with archetypes. And archetypes are a really powerful tool to use to help to connect with your audience on a really profound and soul level. So just to briefly explain, archetypes were discovered by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. Basically, he understood or discovered that we have these unconscious patterns or tendencies that repeat throughout history and time. So for example, you can see these patterns like in art and literature, in books. Almost basically everything in the world is an archetype. And so we connect with these essence, these archetypes on a deep level because we all have them. So archetypes, basically, the most simple example that I can explain is that they are the gateway to the soul. They are how our soul communicates and understands and makes sense of this world. And we all have them, whether we realize it or not, and whether we acknowledge them or not. They don't care. They operate, and they're always operating on an unconscious level. So the thing is that when you use archetypes with branding, you can start to not only understand yourself and your brand on a really profound level, because you start to understand what archetypes are the most powerful in your unconscious mind, but you can also learn how to work with them so that you can enhance them in your brand. And then you attract people who either have those archetypes really strongly in their unconscious mind, or they're emerging in their unconscious mind. So this way of branding is completely different. It is not traditional in the sense where, it's always research based. Of course, research is always important, but it's basically creating your brand from the inside out. So for example, my top two archetypes are the alchemist and the creator. Hence, my brand is all about creating and transforming. And so there's no coincidence that you found my work and my website, because you either have the creator as a strong archetype in your unconscious, or the magician, which is one of the categories in the alchemist archetype. So that's a very simple example. You're here because you have archetypes that are similar to mine and you resonate with it. And when you know how to work with that energy, you know how to work, how to manifest in the world from the inside out instead of seeking from the outside in. The way that traditional branding works is actually from the outside in. So they're always looking outside to gain information, research, to the latest trends. And while that all of that helps, it's not a solid foundation to build your brand from, because if you are constantly looking for the latest trends, you have to, I would say, mutate to your brand to fit that. So when you have a solid brand, it's like you have this solid sense of self. And then anything that happens around you, it's really easy to navigate that, if that makes sense. Another reason why branding is one of the most important assets for your business when you work with archetypes is because it makes it so much easier to put yourself out in the world. Because not only will it feel natural to you because you're working with your own archetypes, your own those deep parts of yourself, you're learning how to navigate with those in the world and how to put yourself out there in a way that feels authentic and actually resonates with people. So you don't have to be fake, and it doesn't have to feel overwhelming, because the only thing is that I'm helping you really do is to help tune into those archetypes and help you to understand how they work, how they're operating in your unconscious, and then how to bring them out in the world and to use them, to work with them, to manifest them in the world with your brand. Another thing too that makes me quite different or unique from other brand strategists and designers or even coaches is that I actually have a degree in divinity. I have a master's in divinity. So I studied quite a bit of spiritual concepts or metaphysical concepts, and I can legally coach clients. So when you work with me, we're not just creating a brand from the superficial level of, just kind of like the traditional sense of branding or marketing. We're really working with that deep part of yourself and enhancing everything you do with that energy. And not only that, there's a reason why I love working with archetypes, because I'm really good at being able to tap at what's going on underneath the surface and helping you see parts of yourself or gain guidance that might not be as obvious, or might be a little bit difficult to see. And that's basically where archetypes operate from. So not only will you be working with somebody that understands the traditional marketing concepts, but you also will be working with somebody that understands the metaphysical concepts and how that connects with branding, and also to help you navigate during this process. So whether you have a fear of being seen, we can look at that and navigate through it instead of having to go to somebody else for that support. If you're ready to create your soul brand, on this page you will find a button where you can book a free discovery session with me so that I can help you understand or better get more clarity of how I can help you with creating your soul brand, and if this way of creating a brand is right for you. Also, please make sure to explore this website up and down, in and out. There's a lot of information here. And make sure to subscribe to my newsletter, because I will be putting out more information in regards to branding and using archetypes, and also spiritual guidance as well. And make sure to check out my page, the Archetype Guides page, because on that page I share the 12 main archetypes. And then also I do have a quiz for you to take. So if you want to find out what your top archetype is, make sure to take the quiz so that you can get a little bit of guidance on that. And then when you're ready to really dig deep into creating your soul brand, you can book that discovery session with me, and we can move forward from there. Also, make sure to read my testimonials as well from past clients that I work with. And I also have case studies from the work that we've done. So as part of, depending on what package you purchase, you get a brand, or I call it the Oracle brand book because it's literally an Oracle for your brand. So there's, in the case studies, I've included the Oracle brand book so you can kind of get an idea of what each step in the soul brand process is and what would be included in your package, and also in your Oracle brand book. And the Oracle brand book is such a powerful tool. I call it the elixir because it's basically what you use after we've done all the work together, the process together, the soul brand process together. It's basically the tool that you use to manifest your brand in the world. So it'll contain all the colors, it'll contain the whole process that we've done, some visual aspects as well. It's very detailed, and anytime that you're working and you move forward with working with other creative people or anybody that you hire to work for your company, this is a book that you would give them so that when they promote themselves or they promote you, they're always on brand and your message stays consistent and clear, and that meaning, that real meaning that you're looking to create for your audience is always met. Thank you so much for watching, and I am looking so forward to connecting with you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm here to provide answers for you. Thank you so much and have a magical day.